You want to be in the gaps. You got to already be there. You can't be moving your feet inward like this Heat player. Look at this, how he's moving his feet inward. Well, you have no chance of getting out to John Collins now. Okay, what are the Heat doing about this first screen? You got to do something about it, okay? Stop. So Jimmy Butler probably should switch this, okay? The problem when you do nothing about this first screen, look, now this big, he doesn't even have to set a screen on you. You're already beat. So now we have issues. Never guard like this. You have to keep your man in front of you. Look at Tyler Herro. So because his man is not in front of him, still isn't. So now look what happens. Stop. That's why this space occurs. So now when this player catches this ball, look, you're not ready to guard. Your feet aren't set. Like, what is this Heat player doing? You can't stand in the middle of nowhere in transition. Get up and be ready to guard Trae Young. What are you doing? So, now Trae Young catches this, and he just gets it and goes right by you. Kevin Love has got to stay attached to his man. Look what happens here. So his man doesn't actually set a screen, he slips it. So if Kevin Love's attached to his man right now, which he's not, he'd just go right with him. Like, there's no screen being set. Yet Kevin Love is guarding a screen. Well, there was none. On Caleb Martin, if you're trying to go under a screen, and I don't know why you'd want to with Trae Young, you can't try and go over first. You got to just go directly under. Look at Caleb Martin here. Look at it. He's going over, trying to go over. Whoop, well, now I'm going under. Well, now you're on the other side of the screen way too late. What is Jimmy Butler doing here in transition? You're not going to be able to guard the ball. This player can guard the ball. You got to come here. Like, look at this. Why are you trying to guard the ball? When the ball is beyond half court, you don't worry about the ball. So Jimmy Butler, this Heat player, both, the only thing you need to worry about is getting back. See, look at this. That's not happening now. And so now who's getting this offensive rebound? You don't switch this cross screen. Stop. Kyle Lowry needs to get attached to his man and jam this Hawks player as he comes through so Bam Adebayo can get on the other side. You're switching this. It's an incredibly late switch. So now Kongwu has Kyle Lowry sealed. Okay, if you're Bam Adebayo, rule numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 about transition defense is sprinting back. So Bam Adebayo needs to sprint back and towards the ball so this Heat player can stay with this Hawks player. Well, we're not doing that exactly. Okay, so the Heat are trapping here. All right, stop. So Tyler Herro's got to get up here, okay? This player has to, you have to deny one pass away. We're not worried about this player 2 passes away because if it's a good enough trap, you won't be able to make that pass. But if you trap and it's this easy to pass out of, well, now the Hawks have numbers and we're in a lot of trouble. Okay, so Jimmy Butler's going to play on Trae Young's side here. So you got to make sure that like, there's a defender right here standing, waiting to help. If his feet are set and he's in a defensive stance, and he is, he'll be able to help by stunting, and then he'll be able to recover. There'll be no threes given up. But you got to get up here and force Trae Young here. Like, you're not going to be able to guard the ball one-on-one. So now you're trying to guard him one-on-one, and this possession's going to end poorly. Okay, if you are switching the screen, then you got to be up here level to the screener so you are ready to guard right on this switch. Like, look at this. You are not ready to guard Trae Young right now. And that is never a good thing. I mean, this Heat player is going to do just about everything you could possibly do wrong. First of all, you can't backpedal. You got to sprint back and you got to get your feet set. 2, you can't stare at the ball for this long. So you're backpedaling, you're staring at the ball. Now we give up an open 3. This is exactly what not communicating and getting organized in transition is. Why was Tyler Herro not communicating that he's taking this Hawks player so Bam Adebayo knows, okay, well, I need to come here? Like, that should have happened before we even saw this, obviously. So, yeah. Okay, if you're going to full-on double the ball like this, that's fine, but you're never going to be able to guard John Collins on a pass to the corner. So Adebayo's going to have to shift over here, and this player's going to have to shift over here too. So when this ball comes here, Adebayo has to come here, and then this player would come here, and you'd go here. But you're trying to double and then get to the corner. You have 0 chance of guarding John Collins right now. What is Gabe Vincent doing here? Get your feet set in a defensive stance, all right? Be ready to guard. Like, you're also only looking at the ball here. So look when Trae Young catches this. You're not in position to guard him at all. cannot rest on defense when you're guarding Trae Young. Look at Gabe Vincent here. Stop. So this pass gets made. Stop. You should right now be over here in a defensive stance with your feet set, ready to guard Trae Young. Look at this. You're staring at the ball. Your feet are not set. So look at Trae Young's about to fly off of a handoff, and you're late. And we're in trouble again. I mean, this is really an issue. I mean, Kyle Lowry, get your feet set in a defensive stance. Do not backpedal. I mean, here we go again. Box out. This shot goes up. If you're Kyle Lowry, you have to find the person you're guarding, not the other way around. So get over here, box out, use the lower half of your body to drive this player away like you're doing none of this. What is Tyler Harrow doing? So it's a turnover. Okay, it's basketball. That happens. But now you got to sprint back. Get back. Why is Tyler Harrow just standing here? This is quite embarrassing. If you are Caleb Martin, please just guard. What? This player hasn't even, Yeka Okongwu hasn't even come close to setting a screen yet. You're already moving. Like, why? So now this forces a completely unnecessary switch. And look, it's late because no one can tech Okongwu. So now Bam Adebayo's got to go box him out. Kyle Lowry has to box Bam Adebayo's man out. And there's no one to box out Mr. Jalen Johnson. This just you cannot backpedal on Trae Young. Get to a spot. Get your feet set in a defensive stance. This is not the urgency it requires to guard Trae Young. Okay, this is a bad box out by Adebayo. Stop. You got to use the lower half of your body here to box out. That moves Clint Capella out. See, you didn't move Clint Capella anywhere. So, okay, this shot goes up. Let's count the Heat players that are boxing out. 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, or 0 for 5. So a long rebound is 100% going to the offense here. Come on, this should not be a switch on this handoff. Just stay with your man. Look at Kyle Lowry here. Look at this gamble, right? See that gamble right there? So now we have to switch. Tyler Harrow isn't ready to do so, and more problems. Okay, does this end up being kind of a fluke play? I guess. But the Heat are not. So the Heat are hedging this ball screen. If Tyler Harrow wants to hedge this ball screen, you cannot let Trae Young turn the corner. That is a horrible hedge. Trae Young just turned the corner. So now the Hawks, they have numbers. Okay, so this time Tyler Harrow does a good job of hedging, but you need backside help now. So Bam Adebayo's got to come up here. This pass cannot get made. This player can occupy these players 2 passes away, and this player can rotate here, and Tyler Harrow can eventually rotate there. But again, you can't. So now Adebayo's coming out now. Well, the problem is there's 2 Hawks players, and Kyle Lowry's got to try and box out both of them, which is not really possible. Tyler Harrow is literally already committing to a switch. That is not good. Because look at this. This player never even comes off the screen. This should not be a switch. You should just be guarding. So because you've already committed to this switch, look at this. Bam Adebayo isn't ready to guard, nor should he be. What? The same thing on this box out. If you're Bam Adebayo, you got to drive the lower half of your body. That moves Capella. You haven't moved Capella anywhere. So now this